She is one busy girl, a new album, a new movie, and a book all coming out before the new year. We're catching up with Lauren Alaina next. This episode of Connected with Kelly is sponsored by Pickers Vodka, proudly made in Nashville, Tennessee. So Pickers is a tribute to the musicians whose sounds fill the air in Music City. Pickers Vodka is distilled 11 times from non-GMO corn, and it's gluten-free. My new favorite is the Pickers Unplugged Vodka Soda. They're in cans. They are only 96 calories, 0 carbs, great flavors. You need to give them a try. Visit pickersvodka.com to find out more or to order online. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Connected with Kelly. Let me tell you about Lauren Alaina. This girl has been busy. She has a brand new album out. She's starring in a Hallmark movie, and she's written a book. Talk about making the most of your downtime. Listen, we're chatting about all of that, and she is in her closet when we did this chat. So we get a sneak peek at Lauren Alaina's closet. All that and more. Let's get connected with Lauren Alaina. Oh my gosh, where do we even start? You have so much going on. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I'm pretty proud. It's an exciting time in the Lauren Alaina world.
It really is. And I mean, okay, so take me back. What was 2020 like? All of this had to be cooking while we were in quarantine, right? Or when did it all get started?
All three projects, the movie, the book, and the album, happened during the pandemic.
Give you some time off and watch what happens.
Yeah, I didn't have time off. I tried to utilize that time because in a normal year, I could never have written a book, made a movie, and made an album because I would be touring and traveling so much that I would have been able to do the three projects, but maybe one a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I tried to make the best of a bad situation. Not getting to tour was devastating, but I just counted on the fact that I could find a way to do a couple of things so that when we came back with a bang. And I think we did it. I think we're going to do it.
I think we did too. I want to go chronologically because there's so much to get to. So let's start with the album that's coming out, Sitting Pretty on Top of the World. Love the title for this. And I'm looking, and there's not a specific song that has that exact title. So tell me how we came up with the title for the album.
Well, the song On Top of the World, right. The hook of the song is hitting rock bottom, sitting pretty on top of the world. And I wrote that song about depression. I wrote it about how much I was struggling in this pandemic. And I would look at this closet and I would think I should be the happiest girl in the world, but I'm really struggling right now. And I think a lot of us felt that way. And so when I went in to write it, I wrote it with Jordan Reynolds and Sasha Sloan, Sasha is my favorite artist right now. So I almost peed my pants when I found out I got to work with her. And I saved this title specifically for her. And we made it about a boy, about a breakup, but it's about putting on a facade of being okay when you're hurting on the inside. And I think a lot of the last couple of years, I felt that way. I went through 2 really crazy breakups, and I lost my stepdad to cancer. And then I went through a breakup and went on national television the next week for Dancing with the Stars and just smiled my way through it because I didn't want that breakup to take away from that amazing opportunity that I had. And so that song specifically really represents kind of how I felt over the last few years. And it's just a baller title for an album. So
I mean, come on. Yes, it is. Yes. But I do want to talk about that for a minute because so many people, so many performers, so many people in the music industry, you do that every night. You might not be having the best day and you might feel, crappy or something really awful happened and you have to step out on that stage and put on the show and put on the face. How do you take time to deal with those feelings? Because I think that that's a big part of it too, is like what, if you don't deal with those feelings at some point, they're going to come back, right?
Right. Well, I my therapist, thank the Lord for her. I've been pretty fortunate too, but I work on those things privately. And it's the balance is very interesting to work on something privately when you have a public life. Um, but I think the more I've grown, I've just learned that that's okay to heal privately. It's okay because at the end of the day, a huge part of like my life and my identity is being on that stage. So, regardless of what my day looks like, that half an hour to 90 minutes is healing for me to get up there and to like be a part of what I know is my purpose does help. It's the other 23 hours of the day that I've got to work on. But I think I've really gotten a system down for that. And after those two very public breakups, I made a promise to myself to not have public relationships like that anymore. Because when they end, if they end, it's, I'm not just like breaking up with this one person, the entire world is invested in this relationship. And that's really hard to deal with. And I didn't want to address my second breakup at all publicly because it was just a really hurtful time and I didn't have any words to share about it. And for me, I think this album really says everything that I want to say about all of those experiences. And instead of, me having to address it, then I wrote these songs and I shared how I healed through those experiences. And I think this album is about healing. And I think what the world needs the most right now is healing. So hopefully it can help.
Absolutely. Tell me about writing this book. Every person that I know that has written a book always has said, and I mean without fail, every person has said this is the scariest, hardest thing I've ever done.
It is very strange to write a book about yourself.
I
Because
mean, yeah.
like honestly, the most rewarding part of this book for me as I was writing it, I think I for the first time like wrote down everything I've been through.
Mm.
And I was like, wow, it made me really proud of myself. But boy, it's vulnerable in a whole different way. It's like, I get a touch of vulnerability, a huge touch of vulnerability with my music. So the fear factor of like sharing myself, I didn't have a ton of that because I feel like I do that already,
Right.
but it was overwhelming. It's hard work to write a book. I mean, it's a lot of work and to like talk about yourself endlessly. I was like, and then I was like, the book is about loving the woman that God made you to be. It's called Getting Good at Being You. And it's all about getting into a place of self-love and realizing that every piece of the puzzle is just a part of your story. And I share my journey and what I've been through and what I've overcome and how my faith has grown and how my faith, sometimes has wavered and how I've gotten back to a place of being centered. And it's just really hard to like read that, to write it and then read it about yourself. Cause then I was kind of like, whoa, I
Right.
don't know. It was a very, very emotional experience.
Was there one story, Lauren, that when you wrote it, you really hesitated, like, I don't know if I can share this?
I don't know if it was that I didn't know if I could share it. Well, first of all, I tell a lot of stories in this book that are not just mine. I share a lot of these stories with other people. So I tried to be super intentional of being protective of the other characters in my life, right? My family, my friends, even my exes. I tried to walk in integrity and to just share how things affected me and tell the story in a way that wasn't hurtful to anyone else. So that was hard. But I think the hardest chapter for me to write was the chapter about losing my stepfather to cancer. That one tripped me up for a little while. I still can't read it without crying. So that audiobook's going to be fun.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to listen to it because I definitely want to hear you for sure. Let's talk about something that's amazing and happy, a Hallmark movie. First of all, this is on my dream board. Like, that is one of the things I'm like, I just want to be in a Hallmark movie. I watch them. They're so amazing. They're so happy. We shoot them here in Franklin all the time. So I feel like I could trip and fall into one by accident. How did this happen? And was this on your dream board? Did you want to be in a Hallmark movie?
I have a really close connection with Hallmark. My cousin Holly is like my favorite person in the world. I tell her that every time I see her. And she's had a very hard life, lots of health problems. And so I she's bedridden now. And so I go stay with her and I like just lay in the bed with her and hang out with her and we watch Hallmark. So that is how we connect with each other. We literally binge watch Hallmark. And the other day, I actually got to go home and play her my Hallmark movie. And it was one of my most proud moments ever. I started singing and she giggled and said, Lauren, look at you. And she said, I hear you. And that was a big moment for me.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Hallmark fan. And honestly, the Hallmark people that work at Hallmark, executives, were in Nashville a few years ago. And I just took a meeting with them just to kind of meet them. There wasn't a real opportunity for collaboration at the time, but they were going to be at my agency that day at CIA. So we set up a meeting for me to meet them just to kind of lay the groundwork. And
Sure.
a few years went by and they came to us with this script with me in mind specifically for it. And I said yes. The next thing I knew, I was on a plane to Vancouver and filming a movie.
Listen, I love that. Did you have so much fun? Is this something that you want to do more of?
I love it. Yes. I want to do a Christmas one now.
Yeah, girl, because those get played every year.
Yes, I would like to do acting in general too, not just with Hallmark. Just as much as I can and whatever makes sense with the music. I really enjoy it, but obviously music is number one. So we're going to be pretty intentional to try to find projects that align with the music and make sense with that. But I do love to act.
Love it. Coming back to the music, I saw the announcement, and I know the tour is not happening with FGL, but what other things do you have planned? I mean, that's almost like, okay, well, that's one less thing. You have all these other things that are already on the schedule. So, I mean, now you got a little bit of breathing room, and I know that you're already out doing your own dates too.
We have been going out and playing like fairs and festivals, and it has been so great to be back out there. And my team personally we have our own protocol that we're going through to ensure safety for not only us but also for the fans. And it's a bummer about that we're not going to be on that tour, but we are trying to figure out how we are going to still be able to go out and celebrate this new music and all of the wonderful things going on. And that decision was kind of out of my control.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out with the rest of the world pretty much.
Girl.
So it was a bummer, but I have to respect, their decision. And I think for my team personally, we are going to do everything to ensure health and safety. And we love getting to get back out on the road and play shows. So we're trying to navigate that now. And
right.
Yeah, safety is always our number one priority, and we just want to be able to connect with people and do that. It's been so nice being able to do that again. So
before I let you go, what is your favorite throwback country song?
How far throwback?
Whatever you want, girl.
I don't know how much of it. I guess it's from the '90s, but "Don't Take the Girl." That's a
On Tim McGraw.
Don't take the girl.
I know. It's so good. Okay, one more question. I know that you've got this amazing friendship with Trisha Yearwood, which, I mean, if you would have told your 8-year-old self, hey, by the way, you're going to be friends with Trisha, you're going to be doing collabs and like all the fun stuff. She's going to write the foreword of your book. Would you even believe it? And what is your favorite Trisha song?
Well, I mean, how she's in love with the boy. That song was like a huge part of my childhood. I know that's like everybody's favorite Trisha song, but I remember like specifically sitting in my bedroom in front of my mirror with a hairbrush singing that song, like all about it. She is one of the most influential voices in my career. So to become her friend and to have a song with her and for her to write my forward is insane. She told me Garth like walks around whistling our song. I'm like, I can quit. I have peaked.
This is it. This is it. Hey, I saw your pictures from the Delaware Fair. What was your favorite fair food? Because I was living vicariously through you.
I just like a good old basket of chicken tenders, but if they've got fried pickles, I'm finding those fried pickles. I'm all about a fried pickle.
Especially if it's the spear. The spear is better than the chips.
I agree.
100%. 100%.
I agree. You are
I know.
correct.
Girl, I love talking to you. I know you got more people to chat with. It's so good to see you. And if you ever need help with the closet, if you need a closet clean out, you call me. I'll be right there.
When I do a deep clean, I'll let you know.
I love it. I love it. Congrats on everything.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I'll talk to you soon, babe. Lauren Alaina, amazing. This brand new album is out now, sitting pretty on top of the world. Get ready for her Hallmark movie. It's called Roadhouse Romance. That's happening. And then the book, Getting Good at Being You. That's all coming out this year. Tell me your favorite Hallmark movie. Since we went in deep on that, I would love to hear yours. Make sure that you hit the bell and that you're subscribed to the channel. That way you'll know when we have new videos that come out each and every week. Until then, stay connected with all the people and things you love the most.